What's going on? This is the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and I'm your host, John Fortune. I want to first apologize to the Redskins fan base because we're the only fan base that gets screwed more than a K Street hooker. We've seen us lose games that have made absolutely no sense. Now, I delayed the initial debut of the show because I wanted to see what the ramifications were going to be when the Redskins signed Reuben Foster. And looking at this game yesterday, I think it was a situation where basically the NFL just told the Redskins, you better lose this game. Because there was nothing about this game that made any sense. The play calling was horrible. The play was horrible. And it's not like the Eagles weren't trying to help us win. But with all that being said, I want to introduce my co-host. Alexa, welcome.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
I want to delve deep into this game because there were several things that I just felt were basically just BS when it came to how the team was playing, how everything was being played out, and what was really going on. The first play of the Eagles drive, they didn't even try to stop the Eagles from doing anything. I mean, our Alabama wall looked like an Alabama picket fence. I mean, at what point were we going to stop the Eagles from doing anything? I mean, even when it came to the play where the Redskins was on offense and they got inside the 20, and then they had that really, really strange penalty where they had the false start where everybody on the line seemed to move, and it didn't even make any sense why they even moved. Then, the very next play after that, Colt McCoy scrambles right into an Eagles defender. Right into the Eagles defender. How the hell did that make any sense? I mean, everything that was going on in this game, I could tell that we were intent on losing. Adrian Peterson ran off a 90-yard touchdown. And then all of a sudden, we stopped running him. 90 yards, everybody. And we stopped going to him. Alexa, how many rushing yards did the Redskins have last night?
Yesterday, the Redskins rushed for 104 yards in the loss to the Eagles. The Redskins' next game is at home against the Giants on Sunday, December 9th at 1 p.m.
Did y'all hear that? 104 yards. 104 yards. 90 of that was one play. 90 of that was one play. And then let me even get down to some of these other stupid plays that set up there and happened. First off, they sat up there and Ryan Kerrigan was in pass coverage against Zach Ertz. Who in the hell called that? Who in the hell thought that Ryan Kerrigan was the smart person to put in pass coverage against one of the best tight ends in the NFL? Why in the hell would you do that? Then let's talk about the play where Mark Sanchez throws the ball to Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed runs out as though he's about to run out of bounds, and then throws the ball back to the other side of the field. And then after he threw the ball back to the other side of the field, Chris Thompson catches it, and then doesn't even run as fast as he should have. Then we also had the play where Chris Thompson fumbles on a non-contact play. He fumbled with no contact. I don't get why every time we turn around, there always seems to be a situation or a problem with what the Redskins are doing. And to me, I also feel that they were trying to justify them signing Reuben Foster. Because I'm pretty sure that we all can admit Zach Brown and Mason Foster looked terrible yesterday. Absolutely terrible. And I don't see how at any point did it make even the slightest bit of intellectual fortitude for these guys to basically try their best to constantly strip the ball. You know that the Eagles were gaining more yards from the Redskins defenders trying to strip the ball than they were trying to tackle them. I mean, Josh Norman looks a mess. DJ Swearinger, I don't even think he showed up to play. And why did we trade for HaHa Clinton Dix? I mean, this dude has done nothing since he's gotten here. What are we going to do in the long run when it comes down to what's going to happen with the Redskins after a while? I mean, there was even a point where in the telecast, I thought I heard what was possibly the strangest thing in the world, which is where I said that the NFL did tell the Redskins to lose this game. One of the commentators said that the Mark Sanchez was taking first team reps in practice. But Fumble Sanchez was taking reps, first team reps in practice. How does that make any sense? Why in the hell is Mark Sanchez taking first team reps in practice? The only thing that I can think of is that at some point they knew they had to lose this game, which is why you sat up there and had Mark Sanchez taking first team reps in practice. I mean, nothing about this game made any sense. Not the coaching, not the playing, nothing. Everything looked a damn mess. And understand this. The people that's the most injured is the offense. Now, I would understand if the offense lost us the game. I mean, yeah, Mark Sanchez did what he normally does. He does the same thing that Kirk Cousins did for us for a long time, which is throw picks at the wrong time. But the defense lost us that game. I mean, everything about that game was a mess. And like I said, to me, I just feel that they were trying to justify the Reuben Foster signing. The crazy thing about that is that he's not even going to be available to us this year. He's not going to be available to us this year. And while I'm on the topic of Reuben Foster, I want to first put out there how pissed off I am at why they're trying to blame this on Doug Williams. This was not Doug Williams. Doug Williams wasn't the one who thought it was a good idea to bring in Reuben Foster. This was Fan Snyder. Yes, you heard me. Fan Snyder. This guy, our owner since he's been here, he makes decisions like a kid fan would make. Kid fans think that bringing in Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, when they're super aging guys, and bringing a Jeff George who couldn't stick with any team. Kid fans would do stuff like that. And this is what our owner does. Doug Williams didn't do this. And we know that Doug Williams didn't do this. We've seen the track record from Dan Snyder, Fan Snyder, when he's made these type of decisions. Doug Williams wasn't here when we had the DC Gators, when Steve Spurrier was our head coach. Doug Williams wasn't here when we had the Washington Jets. This was Dan Snyder. Fan Snyder sat his butt up here And because the talk was about the Alabama wall, he felt the need to bring in another Alabama player. One who won't be available to us. And probably won't be available to us anytime soon. Or maybe even ever. I don't get why every time we turn around, we're always the team that has to sacrifice. We're always the team that has to lose. I will say this. Greg Minuski is an awful defensive coordinator. And Jay Gruden, I'm just going to put it out there, y'all. The Redskins have now become the Dallas Cowboys when it comes to head coaches. We're never going to find a quality head coach to coach this team as long as Fan Snyder is the owner. It's never going to happen. I mean, have anybody noticed that every head coach that has coached the Redskins have either never coached another NFL team or struggled to get a head coaching job after they've coached the Redskins? I mean, where's Terry Robisky? He came in for North Turner. North Turner is considered like the offensive guru. Yeah, he found a couple head coaching jobs, but he didn't stay in any of them really long. Marty Schottenheimer said, to hell with that, I'll retire. Mike Shanahan, gone. Joe Gibbs walked off the job. Jim Zorn, where the hell is he? Is he even the quarterback guru anymore? All we've ever done was sit up here and lose all the time. And I'm kind of pissed off because this is kind of like a pre-debut show. And this is not even what I wanted my show to be about. I wanted to talk about the Washington Wizards and that crazy mess that's going on with Dwight Howard. And how we're always the circus. The Wizards always had the circus freaks. You know, we always had the guys who somehow, some way ruin our team all the time. And here we are again in a situation where we went through the Gilbert Arenas years when him and Andre Blackton, JaVale McGee and Nick Young. And now here we are with John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, Dwight Howard, Kelly Oubre. Man. But what I need to do is I really want to sit up here and talk more about why us as fans in this Washington area stay so frustrated. Because every time I turn around, we always got to deal with something. The NFL has screwed the Redskins for years. And we've known this. We've known this. I mean, from us getting that crazy $36 million fine to us sitting up there and they're not trying to assist with the stadium building. And even when it comes down to these games, we saw what was happening in Dallas, just like we saw what was happening in DC. We saw what happened against Green Bay. We saw that there were times where the ref was helping us out, and at the same time, they was helping the other team out. What they're not telling us is that how the Redskins won that Dallas game because of the fact that they needed fans to come back to that stadium because people haven't been at that stadium for a while. Same thing is going on in Dallas. A lot of people are starting to back away from the Dallas Cowboys. And what happened all of a sudden? The Cowboys went on this super winning streak. You know why? Because you can't have that AT&T stadium not full to capacity. It's one of the biggest stadiums in the whole NFL. And you think the NFL is going to let that happen? The NFL doesn't want blackout games anymore. Can you imagine Jerry's World half full or only the bottom rim being full? Come on, y'all. This is crazy. But I just want to welcome y'all to the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And I want to let y'all know that this show is interactive. You know, I want to hear some of y'all frustration. What y'all mad about? It could be anything. You know, Bryce Harper not signing with the Nationals. I've always felt that who cares about Bryce Harper? I think he sucks anyway. I told people that we should have traded him 2 years ago. You know? Want to talk about firing Eddie Grunfeld? This man has been here way too long. I mean, why does DC always love the crappy general manager? Ernie Grunfeld, Bruce Allen, Vinny Serrato, Wes Unseld. I mean, we just got a history of crappy general managers. I mean, Jesus Christ. But this is what I need y'all to do. I want y'all to leave y'all comments and let me know what y'all think. And if y'all like the show, give me a thumbs up and at the same time subscribe. But other than that, I want to welcome y'all to the Frustrated Fans Sports Show.